Hello everyone, welcome back to Scented Moments channel. I'm Jolima. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a fantastic New Year's Eve and I wish you a happy new year. Let's just pray and do everything so this year will be much better than the previous year. And because of that, because the New Year's is already here, I wanted to record and I wanted to upload this video a bit earlier because this video is about my fragrance highlights of 2020. I already did a similar video like this of 2019, and here, just like that video, I want to talk about the best fragrance release designer niche, the worst fragrance experience, or the worst or the most disappointing fragrances, the worst fragrance release, and so on and so forth. So I have here some categories that I want to share with you, some of the best and the worst experiences of 2020. So first, the best fragrance release of 2020 in the designer side of things. Here, no surprise whatsoever, I already did a review of this one. It's from the house of Cartier, and the fragrance is none other than Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Gorgeous, beautiful looking bottle. I really love this bottle presentation, but the scent inside is absolutely fantastic. This kept, man, it's so good. So intoxicating and so elegant, gentlemanly scent. So this maintains the barbershop DNA of the original Pasha de Cartier, but this has like a honeyed, boozy feel. Although it's not featured as an official note or chord, but you immediately, right in the opening, other than the lavender, which is quite prominent also, has that aromatic fougere feel in the opening, but also you get a nice, warm, enveloping, honeyed, boozy nuance. And what you really have is this amber, very prominent amber, bit resinous, sticky amber, with again that barbershop DNA. It's a fantastic scent, quite gentlemanly. It goes into a more mature territory. Yes, great performance. After all, this is a Parfum concentration. I absolutely love this. It's done to perfection, has a natural feel. It's so well blended and it's simply magical. I absolutely love this one. I already did the reviews, so check that review out if you have yet to. So the best, hands down, the best designer release of last year was Pasha de Cartier Parfum. And of course, in the niche category, also no surprise whatsoever, I already did a review of this one, and actually this was also very well featured on my winter list of 2020. It is from Ramon Monegal, is Fiza. Fiza, I mean, gorgeous, beautiful looking bottle. Fiza here is all about oud, raspberry, rose, a heavy dose of mimosa, saffron, amber, I mean, vanilla. This is oriental to the max, but it's so good. This is pure joy in a bottle. This literally feels like you are being touched by the sunlight. So warm and so intoxicating. This is, I will soon do a top 10 strongest, longest lasting fragrances, and this one will be up there really in the top 3 at least, if not really my top 1, because you will fill 2 or 3 rooms with this one, and you don't need to overspray. I think even 3 sprays is already overspraying with this one, but it's delicious. So well done, man. Nothing is scratchy. Everything is just blended so nicely. High quality scent, like all Ramon Monegal fragrances, honestly. I love this brand, highly underrated. And for me, of course, I didn't try all the new niche fragrances of last year, unfortunately, but from the ones I tried, I think this one is the best. Is Fiza from Ramon Monegal. Now the next category is the best fragrance discovery, niche and designer. Actually, I already did a video about some of my favorite discoveries of last year, and actually one of these that I will mention was not featured in that video because this was a very recent purchase, and also I have a fragrance haul video to upload of last year, the latest and actually big fragrance haul of last year of 2020, and this one was one of the last fragrances that I purchased. And actually I already talked about this fragrance in a video, a very recent video, but in the designer side of things, what a discovery this is. And this is so underrated. And actually I can say that this was a blind buy because although I already tried this fragrance like briefly in the duty-free zone, it was like a year ago, like a couple of years ago actually, and I remember that I really did enjoy this fragrance, but when I purchased it last month, I didn't remember exactly how it smells like. I just knew that I enjoyed it when I tried it first, so I consider this like a blind buy, and what a successful blind buy it was. This is very underrated. From the house of Hermès, this is L'Ombre de Merveilles. Beautiful looking bottle. I mean, seriously, I absolutely love this bottle presentation. This kind of reminds me of Midnight in Paris from Van Cleef & Arpels. L'Ombre de Merveilles is all about amber. It has like a floral, powdery aspect, like a jasmine impression in here, with benzoin. It's very rare actually to find an amber-based scent in the designer realm, and this is done to perfection. After all, this is an Hermès, and although this is marketed towards women, this is strictly unisex. Man, I love this. I think I will do this. I will make this fragrance as my... I am not wearing anything as of today, so this will be my first fragrance of the year. Actually, the scent of the day, man, magical. It has like a honeyed feel in here, and it's so romantic. This fragrance is so romantic and so enveloping, cozy. It has a sparkliness. It has like a floral sparkliness right from the opening. It's to die for. I love this. This is so underrated, and if you love amber fragrances, check this one out. It's L'Ombre de Merveilles from Hermès. And in the niche side of things, and this fragrance was featured on that video of some of my best fragrance discoveries of 2020, and it's from Profumum Roma. This fragrance is Olibanum. Olibanum is, as of now, my favorite incense fragrance. This is all about frankincense and myrrh. This is stunning. So realistic. Has a natural feel. It's quite nutty, resinous. It has for me like a very zen feel. I love incense, and this one is definitely my favorite as of now. Very long lasting, although it will not project all that much, but it's the best in my opinion. The best incense fragrance as of now is Olibanum from Profumum Roma, and what a stunning discovery it was last year. Now let's talk about my proudest purchase of 2020. In the designer side of things, again, I already did a review of this one. It's from House of Dolce & Gabbana, and it is the One Mysterious Night. This is my proudest designer purchase because, first of all, it's hard to come by, at least here in Portugal. It's hard to find readily available here, and the scent is fantastic. This is my favorite, the One version as of now. Imagine the One DNA, the Eau de Parfum, the One Eau de Parfum DNA with rose and a hint of oud with saffron. Stunning. But the most prominent note here, it's definitely this jammy sweet rose that it's to die for. Stunning. Love. I love rose fragrances, and this one is an instant love. So you have amber, you have jammy rose, you have a hint of oud and saffron. fantastic scent right here. It's my favorite. It's my proudest designer purchase of last year. It's definitely this one, the One Mysterious Night. And my proudest purchase in the niche category, actually, it's from, I have here two fragrances from the same house, Guerlain. And these are exclusive fragrances from Guerlain, and these are fantastic. The first one is Angélique Noire from Dallah and la Matiere collection. This fragrance actually was the last fragrance of the year. This is a fragrance that I wore yesterday, actually. This is so romantic, so sexy, so seductive, so romantic, and so smooth. This is so good. This is all about angelica root, angelica seed. You have a hint of tonka bean with vanilla. I have a lot of vanilla in here. And it also has like a suedey feel, a musky suede feel, at least for me. Although it's not featured, it has an official note, but for me it comes across like a suedey nuance, a suedey musky nuance in the base. But this is all about angelica root, angelica seed, vanilla, and a hint of tonka bean and that musky, suedey feel. I love this fragrance so much. I think you also have jasmine and ylang ylang, if I'm not mistaken, but so good, so romantic, so sexy. I love this, and very long lasting actually. When I woke up today, I was still smelling like Angélique Noire. Stunning. I love this one. One of my proudest purchase of last year, alongside another fragrance from Guerlain that I have to mention. It's Gourmand Coquin. Gourmand Coquin is from the Elixir de Charnel, and this fragrance is one of the best chocolate fragrances ever created. This is all about chocolate and rum done to perfection. It has like a dark chocolate truffle nuance with a nice dose of this boozy rum feel. So realistic, so well done. It's quite intense actually. In the first couple of hours, this is very intense. Again, very romantic fragrance right here. And I already did a top 10 best chocolate fragrances, so feel free to check that video out if you have yet to. And this one, of course, was very well featured in that video. So Gourmand Coquin, if you love Gourmand fragrances, I think this is a must try. And Angélique Noire, these two fragrances are my proudest purchases of last year. Now let's talk about my most worn fragrances of 2020, and actually I already did a video talking about my 5 most worn fragrances of last year, and so here, no surprise whatsoever. In the designer category, it's from the house of Zadig and Voltaire, and the fragrance is This Is Him. You all know how much I love this. This for me is still the best date night scent. So good. This is so good. It has like black pepper feel in the opening. It's quite spicy with a heavy dose of incense and this creamy, still dusty sandalwood. Fantastic scent, dark, mysterious, masculine, but still unisex. Dark, mysterious, romantic, and it has like a bad boy feel in here. This is amazing. This is a beautiful incense sandalwood concoction. Done so well. It's not scratchy. I mean, it can be a bit scratchy in the opening because of the pepperiness, but that quickly fades away and then the magic happens. I love this. Great performance, at least on my skin. Although this is an eau de toilette concentration, I simply love this. This is Him from Zadig and Voltaire. And in the niche category, although I mean, is this really niche or not? Because, well, the fragrance is from Marc-Antoine Barrois and is Ganymede. I'm saying that it's debatable if this is niche or not, because Marc-Antoine Barrois actually has like a designer clothing business. So is this really niche or not? But well, I consider this niche because it's not readily available, and also it's more expensive than your regular designer fragrance. So I'm considered this in the niche, more niche category. Ganymede for me was not just one of my most worn fragrances of last year, it was also one of the best discoveries. so unique. This is one of the best signature scent fragrances. This is all about osmanthus, and also just to let you know, I already did a review of this one also. So this has osmanthus, and osmanthus gives this fruity floral impression. For me, it gives a peachy fruity feel. So we have osmanthus, you have saffron, violet, you have mineral notes, salty notes, and it has like an ozonic aquatic nuance. This is stunning, quite sparkly, effervescent, yet a bit sweet from the osmanthus, and it has a leathery feel in the base with that violet and saffron concoction creates this leathery impression. This is fantastic, a very unique scent, very long lasting, quite masculine in my opinion, and it's so unique, very likable actually. You can actually get some nice compliments with this one. So it's Ganymede from Marc-Antoine Barrois as one of my most worn fragrances of last year. But, well, because not everything was amazing, now I want to talk about the worst or the most fragrance disappointments. So the two fragrances, designer, and one is designer, the other one is niche. But the two fragrances that disappointed me the most last year, the first one actually was a release of last year from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, and it was the one Eau de Parfum Intense. I don't have that one in my collection, but it was really a huge disappointment because of that dark bottle. I actually really do like the bottle presentation, and I was expecting like a very intense, very woodsy and oriental nuance. Maybe I was expecting more of a resinous, more woodsy undertones. Basically a more intensified and oriental version of the already amazing The One Eau de Parfum. No, it's not. Actually, it's even more fresh than the Eau de Parfum. It has cardamom, it has a freshness in there. I think it also has ginger, if I'm not mistaken. So it's more sparkly, it's more fresh actually than the Eau de Parfum. And the performance, I think it's even worse, at least for me, it's even worse than the Eau de Parfum. So I was actually quite disappointed with that release. I mean, Eau de Parfum Intense, then with a black bottle, you are expecting like a very strong and intensified DNA of the One Eau de Parfum, but no, not at all. Actually, it's more fresh and a bit more spicy, and even the amber and the tobacco actually is much more toned down. So, I mean, I think the marketing there was a complete miss for me. I think they should even name it differently, and even the bottle should have been differently, but well, that's just my opinion. So that one was a bit of a disappointment. And in the niche category, this was a big and major disappointment from the house of Xerjoff actually. And actually Xerjoff, I have 3 fragrances on my wish list from the house of Xerjoff. Neo, what's the other one? Ivory Root, fantastic scent. And I have Alcat, and yes, and I have another one which is Amber Star and Star Musk. Those two are fantastic masterpiece materials in my opinion, but incredibly overpriced. Nevertheless, I still have quite a few fragrances from Xerjoff on my wish list. I have 11 or 12 fragrances from the house of Xerjoff, but at the same time, 2020 showed me a lot of misses from Xerjoff actually, and this one was one of them. It is Golden Dallah, and I have here a sample. Actually, I really did bought Golden Dallah. But with that purchase, I also had this sample, as you can see. I bought it at Embassy Niche Perfumery Store. So I bought Golden Dallah because in the opening was amazing. I was mind blown by the coffee and that slightly freshness. I really did love the coffee right from the opening. But even from the spray, from this sample, I really don't enjoy how this develops. I was quite impressed from the opening and then I immediately bought it. But that's actually a rookie mistake. You should always let the fragrance develop on your skin first. And actually this never happened to me, and it was actually quite funny because, well, the next day I was actually returning the bottle. It was sealed in the box, so I did not open it. So I exchanged for another fragrance. It was actually a huge disappointment. This is, I can't even say, like, this is so harsh, so synthetic. It's really a sweet chemical mess. It's all I can say with this fragrance. Everyone was praising, and everyone praises this fragrance as one of the best coffee fragrances. No, I mean, not at all yet. Not at all. It's really a huge miss for me. Well, I can't even, no, I will not. I will not spray on my skin because this is really disgusting. I really don't like the way this develops. This goes into a very harsh, very generic, sweet, chemically synthetic mess, really. This is not pleasant. This doesn't go into pleasant territory. I mean, seriously. That's why for me, Golden Dallah, a huge disappointment, unfortunately. And as for the worst fragrance release of 2020, and this time I will not mention any niche fragrances because nothing beats Dior Homme 2020. Nothing beats the worst fragrance as Dior Homme 2020 in this category. This is basically a completely new Dior Homme and it has nothing to do with the masterpiece, with the original Dior Homme. Dior Homme, the original, which I have, it's fantastic. One of the best signature scents out there. You have this iris, this poly iris, cacao, a bit slightly leathery and woodsy. It's amazing fragrance. Dior Homme 2020, it's just a mess. You have cashmere, you have a touch of some woods and freshness, and it's simply, for me, is the most boring fragrance from Dior and the most disgusting, the most trashy fragrance that Dior could ever release. It's Dior Homme 2020. So for me, that is definitely by a mile shot the worst fragrance release of 2020. And as for the best indie fragrance brand for me, as is definitely Francesca Bianchi. This year or last year, I purchased 3 fragrances from her collection. These 3, the Dark Side, which actually was featured on my top 10 best winter fragrances. Sex in the Sea, this one, which is actually one of my most worn fragrances, 2 of 2020, and Under My Skin. This is a masterpiece. So the most sensual, the most sexy fragrance that I have in my collection. I mean, I love her creations. They are all very carnal, very intense, complex, with a lot of layers, and so unique. I love her creations. Actually, I have 3 more fragrances on my wish list. It's Sticky Fingers, that I absolutely love. The other one is The Lover's Tale, and Etruscan Water. 3 fantastic fragrances that I want to purchase soon. Actually, Francesca Bianchi was very kind to send me a sample of her latest fragrance, which is Tiger. Actually, I already tried it as just one, and it was just first impression. Actually, I didn't record a video, but I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of Tiger because although I respect the scent and the quality, of course, but the scent profile, it's not for me. It has that scent profile, like a very classic woman's fragrance. I think that's the best way to describe it. So for me, it's very hard to pull off, at least for now. Maybe my taste will change throughout this year. We will see. But at least for now, not a big fan of it. I much prefer Sticky Fingers. And last but not least, the brand of the year. But here I need to mention 2 brands because these 2 brands definitely marked me the most during 2020, and it's Guerlain and Profumum Roma. I think I purchased a lot of fragrances. I purchased a lot of fragrances from these two brands, and if I would do like what I purchased during 2020 video, I think the majority will be Guerlain and Profumum Roma. So definitely has to be these two fragrances. Finally, and this year I started to collect and to buy the La and La Matiere fragrances. And also I have Gourmand Coquin, which is amazing. And also I already have a lot. I have almost all the collection from the Les Absolus d'Orient. I just don't have Oud Essentiel, which I actually don't like. I think it's the worst fragrance from that line. It's Oud Essentiel in my opinion, of course. I also have Louis that I have yet to review. So I purchased a lot of fantastic fragrances from Guerlain and from Profumum Roma as well. Sorriso, Olibanum, Icnusa, Orangea, I mean, you name it. I already purchased a lot of fragrances too from Profumum Roma, and more have yet to come. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments down below, what are your fragrance highlights of 2020? What is your best or your favorite fragrance release of 2020, and your worst, your most disappointing fragrance release of 2020? I mean, tell me everything in the comments down below, guys, and see you in the next video. Again, Happy New Year. Ciao.